Tell us about Jelly Bean, your English bulldog.
I feel like...
But beloved Jelly Bean, your English bulldog.
I feel like I could talk for hours about Jelly Bean.
Do you love Jelly Bean?
More than anything.
Nordo, do you love Archie?
I love Archie.
Yeah, and I love Fat Teddy too, but I don't think we love Archie and Fat Teddy the way you love Jelly Bean.
She's been with me since COVID, so I got her my junior year of college when there was
What'd she look like
school.
wearing a mask?
Fabulous. She can barely breathe anyway, so.
Oh, one of those pushed in snouts, those pushed in faces.
She's got a little squished face.
No, so she snores at night.
She snores a lot. She's like my sound machine. I love it. Like, I'm used to it. Without her, I can't really sleep.
Really?
Yeah, it's horrible. So I got her. Then I told my dad, I'm going to get a dog. He said, absolutely not. He's like, I'm not taking care of her.
So you were with Dad at that time?
No, I just called him and I was like, Dad, I think I'm going to get a dog. And he was like...
And Dad, I also like to travel, so I'm going to need Jelly Bean to be over at your house for like five consecutive days every so often.
And I also, dad right there.
And I also play college hockey, so we're going to be gone about every single weekend.
Yes.
So he was like, absolutely no.
Dad...
And he was wrong. She's the best. And he absolutely loves her now.
He loves her.
Yeah.
You were like, her. Dad, duh.
Exactly. So it was the right purchase. I worked all summer at Red Lobster to get her. So
that's phenomenal. Well, I mean, that piece of contrition right there, that was beautiful.
I spent...
Those Cheddar Bay biscuits, holy cow.
The biscuits,
exactly. Though. Like, I would go to 5 a.m. practice right to Red Lobster. So I worked hard for Jelly Bean.
Yeah, that's Nordo and I have had some strange culinary timing experiences. I don't know if doing something that's physically taxing and or mentally grinding and then heading to Red Lobster at 8, 9, 10 in the morning, I don't know if that'd be on the list.
No, I don't think it would be.
This is Olivia King. Is it fair to describe Olivia King with Youth Hockey Hub?
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, I work with Youth Hockey Hub really closely.
Like every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying something wrong.
No, I mean, I work with them super closely. They're awesome. I freelance kind of for everybody. You know, I feel like that's just the nature of what I do and where I'm at right now.
So when Tony Scott was in the studio earlier in the week, should the surrogate have negotiated a full-time Youth Hockey Hub role? Did we blow it?
The opportunity was there.
Right in front of us.
Yeah, what the heck? No, I love, being a small part in a lot of different roles. I think that's just me. I do so many different things. I do my podcast. Yeah. Obviously, I'm on their women's hockey pod. I do some, sideline with Youth Hockey Hub and color stuff.
9 to Noon Productions.
Yes.
This radio show?
Exactly. And I do, the Gopher stuff. So I'm kind of all over the board, and that's the way I like it.
Okay.
I think so.
So you're saying you don't want full-time employment from any of them?
Well, hey, I'm not putting that in the air, but I'm just saying
Announcer
that I like where I'm at.
Saved by King.
I'm just saying I like where I'm at, and I'm excited for the future, obviously. So we'll see what comes of it.
Okay. Well, the way you laid that out, I think Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub, and the Talk Goalie to Me podcast, I think those two will do. Because, I mean, there's a lot there. And it's like I knew there was a lot, and I started to write it down. I'm like, that's just too much to describe. By the way, this segment and Olivia's inclusion, 9 to Noon, courtesy of Metropolitan Ford in Eden Prairie, 494 and 5. Eric Bjorgaard's the general manager. And great time to take a look at Fords, previously owned or new, with Truck Month. MetropolitanFord.com. Metropolitan Ford, it's your truck superstore. And speaking of Metropolitan Ford and the general manager, on one of Olivia's recent Talk Goalie to Me podcasts, well, we have Eric's son, Chase Bjorgaard, who is the netminder for the Dyna Hornets, heading into the Boys State High School hockey tournament today. How did the podcast go? How do you know Chase? And what do you think of those Hornets over the next few days?
Yeah, I had a great time talking to Chase, and I'm releasing that today, actually, before their 8 o'clock game. I'll release it kind of pretty close to 6-ish, but...
So that means it's not done.
Oh, it's...
Don't release it.
PA, don't say that.
But what time do they play? 8?
They play at 8.
Yeah, we'll release
But
it
I
at
have
4
to-
so people can learn about the goalie well in advance of the game. What are we doing here, Olivia?
You're a genius. You're a genius.
I'm not a genius. I'm stupid. I've just been stupid a long time in the same seat.
Okay, we'll say 4 then.
Okay.
I can do that. But yeah, it was super fun to talk to him. I mean, he's so knowledgeable. He's been to 8 state tournaments
Jeez.
from, whether that be football, hockey, or baseball for Edina. He just won the, football state tournament for Edina this fall and then jumped
6
right in.
touchdowns.
Exactly. Jumped right into hockey season and took a little bit of a break to make sure he was ready to play goalie because, goalie is such a weird position. You don't want to get hurt. And last year he said he got hurt a little bit when he jumped right into it. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch him tonight. I have to be honest that I am definitely a northern girl and if I had it my way, I might want to see Grand Rapids and Moorhead in the championship game.
Oh, geez.
But
Sounds like that's not a human across from me. It sounds like a bet for supplemental income. Seriously, I'll give you both those teams. I'll take Bjorgard, and here we go.
You didn't start the podcast with that, did you?
I did
Actually,
not.
Moorhead's, are they both really good? Moorhead's, like they won last year.
Moorhead's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
And
definitely.
they'd meet tomorrow, wouldn't they? If Edina and Moorhead both win, I think that's the matchup on Friday.
I think it is.
Yes,
From
yes.
when we had Tony Scott.
And
in
that's
there,
that'd be a
when we brought
rematch
the
of last
brackets.
year. Yeah, that'd
Yes.
be unfreaking believable.
Yeah, your boss at Youth Hockey Hub brought in single A and double A brackets
Well, he knows us.
to help us. Okay, but he walks in the
knows us.
studio and gives me the brackets. I go, how much? I thought I was like joining a Youth Hockey Hub like pool or something.
You're betting on
I'm
the
like,
bracket.
How much?
I still got him.
Oh yeah, and he said, no, that's just for your reference. I said, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, cool. I got that on the computer.
Honestly, we should start that like March Madness, but maybe that's inappropriate because they're amateurs.
Well, see, I like the envelope you're pushing here. You got to the right answer at the end, which would be no. The answer would be because you have access others don't have. So you're kind of fixing the race. But 9 to noon really likes the envelope pushers.
Yeah, I do kind of like that
You're
idea.
pushing that
actually.
envelope a little bit at your age, which is really, really good. Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub, and about 1,000 other things. So with Talk Goalie to Me, the podcast, did the Edina Hornets goaltender, did he share with you what his sports-related plans are after he graduates from Edina?
Honestly, I feel like I had heard so much talk of him for sure being 100% on playing baseball in the future.
98.
Because that was like his
Yep.
sport. And
Yep.
I
hear
think
Topeka's nice in the baseball season.
and I think like throughout talking with
I
him,
mean, Lawrence. Sorry, go ahead.
he was pretty open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think baseball is still like definitely up there, but
When he hits the ball, it goes 400 feet.
that's insane.
But he's really good at football, too. And he's really good at hockey. And he doesn't do a lot. And I've known Chase since he was in middle school, so I feel like he's kind of a surrogate. He's just so naturally blessed and gifted. And he doesn't really do much with any of the sports between the sports. He's a kid. I get a chance to be a kid, get a chance to be a teenager. Oh, by the way, I got finals and stuff like that I got to deal with. But that's what I've always liked about Chase and his father Eric and the Bjorgard family is they don't push him like he's this plug in the machine. And then now we got this speed training. Now we got this massive weight training. Now we got this hand-eye coordination for Lawrence. They just let him be a kid between sports.
I think that's the big message by just looking at his like high school career overall is how important it is to be a multi-sport athlete and how that helps you in your other sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for him, obviously he's super athletic. So he's able to do all those different things. He doesn't need to play hockey year round. Like, other families may think is a need for a kid to only play hockey all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's wrong, but I'm just saying I think it's good to mix in other sports because that's where you meet your community and that's where you start to care a lot about your community as a whole. And it was really cool for me to talk to him about Edina too and talk about how important that win for, this fall was for them in the football community because Edina has always known for their hockey. And so I think that was cool too, and how much he really cares about their community. It was really interesting to talk about, and I love a multi-sport athlete. I think that's what keeps you from getting injured too, is just moving your body in different ways.
Yeah.
And so it was awesome. It was a great conversation.
Potential stupid question number one. The Delano hockey team that I watched last night, that's single A, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody happen to know what the final score of that thing was? It was 1-0 when I stopped watching. Looked like it was en route to being like 11-1.
And they all had the tiger hair.
Yes.
I'll admit I turned it off when it was 5-2.
So it was 5-2 at one point.
Yeah, so my beloved Scarlets, they tried. What a season to the Scarlets. Cheers to you, Mankato West. The bottom fell out in the third period.
Really?
So I turned it off when it was 5-2.
Who's their best player?
It might be their goalie, Brecky, I think. Is the one that stood out.
And they were peppering Brecky early, but here's the question. So that's single A, right?
Yes.
Okay, now that Delano first line that I watched last night played basically the entire, you talk about double shifting. I mean, we got double and triple shifting, or however you want to explain it. They played a lot, and they're good. I mean, that first group that Delano has, like, how would it compete with Moorhead, Edina, teams like that?
I mean, I think, even in single A, there's really good hockey and there's really good hockey players, especially like at a place like Delano. It's not like a lot of those kids are leaving or, going to play juniors early or going
like Mason West.
Exactly. So I think like a top line could definitely compete with a top double A line.
Okay. So when you get into depth.
But I think it's a lot more to do with depth. Yep. I mean, you just have a lot more to choose from at the double A level with a bigger town, and so it just depends. And I think a lot of it is hard to say now that moving around in high school hockey is so popular. It didn't used to be like that as much, but now it's just kind of people bop around and find where they fit best. And, not that I fault anyone for doing that. I think, especially with, there are private schools in the Minnesota State High School League and they can recruit players. So I think it's just kind of a gray area.
How about that line, though? So it's Brady Kangas and Daniel Hallinan.
All right.
And then it's got to be his brother. So
there were 3 Hallinans.
Yeah.
You got brothers and a cousin.
There's a Lance Hallinan, and then there's a junior Bennett Hallinan. Yes. But Kangas, 31 goals. Lance Hallinan, 23. Dan Hallinan, 41. I mean, that's north of 100.
Jeez.
About 100 goals on that line. And you can just add the assists up as well. Yeah, that's unbelievable line for Delano.
Now, you mentioned the tiger hair with Delano. My man had one of the guys had his hair like down to basically a crew cut or very, very short, and then like had it done orange and black like a tiger. It was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
You can't see it during the game with the helmet, obviously, but it was the skate up bit. Last time we got together, when you played at XL Energy Center as a goaltender for Brainerd, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were in the state tournament. And I'm like, what was it like when you skated up to the camera and you hear, it was number one goaltender, Olivia King, and you skate up like, hi, grandma, hi, mom, hi, dad, that kind of stuff. And you said, you didn't freak out, but you were like nervous up to it because it's weird. Well, we watch them all the time. Sports Center with ESPN picks up on them yearly this time. It's hockey hair season in the state of Minnesota, and they'll show a bunch of different things. I noticed this with the ladies last week, and then so far with the guys, I haven't seen as much, but we'll see more today. A lot of them are skating up and not saying anything, and they're mean mugging the camera. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's something here that I'm not getting, with mom and dad or grandma. You got to have somebody you can say hi to as opposed to skating up to the camera and the mean mug. You know what I mean?
I feel like it used to be a lot of just the hair, but now the antics have really gotten into it.
Are they aura maxing?
They're
what's aura maxing?
They're looks maxing and they're aura maxing out there.
Oh, so. They're maxing their aura?
Yeah.
So they're telling us they have aura.
Well, they're showing you.
Okay.
You know?
I guess that's aura.
It's all attitude.
Exactly.
no
So
doubt.
there's a lot more attitude in it than there used to be.
Yes.
So you don't really see the, hey, mom, hey, dad anymore.
And when you do see it and the girls blush, you're like, that's it. That's real. That's authentic. That's natural. That's not aura, bursting, busting, maxing, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's so funny, I think, when they go up to the line and they like pretend they can't skate. I saw that a few times yesterday.
What?
Or they'll do like the pizza stop. They really pull out, like, I wonder if they practice these. They have to, because I was nervous just skating up there and like smiling. I didn't even know what to do. And they're like putting on a full production. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no chance you lose your edge on that straight skate, right?
I mean, no, there is a chance. I've seen it.
That'd be great.
And so, I don't know. We'll see the rest of the tournament, what everybody chooses to do. But I love that they do like the full lineup, because you get to see everyone and it's super funny. And especially for the goalies, I feel like the backup goalies will sometimes throw in something crazy because, you know, they don't really need to be super, super, super focused. So I've seen a few crazy stuff from backup goalies too in the past. So we'll see. Or the managers.
Yeah.
There was a few good manager fits too yesterday.
Olivia King, Youth Hockey Hub, by the way, on calling a game tonight. We'll get into that more. We'll get into that a little later. But because it's tonight, right? Gophers in Ohio State.
Yes, sir. Tonight.
And what is the Lee and Penny, whatever, like Lee and Penny Anderson Arena? What is that?
That's St. Thomas's rink.
Yep.
Oh.
St. Thomas's brand new rink. So
why aren't they playing at the regular spot?
Well, they change it every year for like the conference tournament.
Okay.
So that's what it is this weekend. It's the Frozen Face-Off. So it's the WCHA conference tournament.
Yep.
And Wisconsin will play Mankato. Mankato beat Duluth last weekend, upset them in a 3-game series. And then Ohio and the Gophers will play tonight at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the first game is at 4. It's Wisconsin Mankato, and then they'll play on Saturday at 2. The winner of both those games for the
Well, the Buckeyes
conference.
are 2. Frosty's team is a 3. So from a rankings, like a positioning standpoint, Ohio State, I guess, is supposed to win this game and play Wisconsin. I didn't look back at the game logs to see how Frosty's team did against the Buckeyes during the year. But Olivia, our beloved Olivia, is going to be the analyst for Gophers Ohio State this evening. I went to gophersports.com, women's hockey, and there is a listen live tab that you can hit, so you can listen to Olivia this evening. Is that a fair way to describe it? Best way to listen to it?
Oh yeah, yep. That's like the Gopher radio way tonight. So it'll be super fun. Obviously, we're getting down to it with playoffs and everything, which is absolutely crazy. And we've got a lot of hockey going on in St. Paul with that tournament and then the boys' state tournament.
Yep.
So I'm really excited. But, last weekend, Abby Murphy became the all-time leading scorer for the Gophers with 141 goals.
And they lost that first game to St. Cloud, right?
Yes.
Then they had to win the next 2 just to get to tonight, right?
Exactly. So
that's pressure.
they got upset in that first game. And it was an overtime game.
It was, yeah.
And it ended up being 1-0 against St. Cloud, which is crazy for the Gophers to not be able to score any goals. Mm-hmm. Historically, that's not been the case. And then those other two games, they came out and won. And it was honestly, it was a good series, but I'm excited for tonight. I think it'll be a really good game against Ohio. I mean, number 2 and number 3 playing against each other.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
What do you like about doing rinkside reporting? Like, say, last weekend, TV, Fox 9 Plus, Frosty's team beat St. Cloud in that 3-game series. What do you enjoy about that?
I absolutely love being the rinkside reporter because it feels like game day again, especially because it's live. It's like you either know your stuff or you don't know your stuff, and you only have about a minute or 30 seconds to really showcase that.
You got somebody in your ear when you're talking?
Yep,
that's
exactly.
Tricky.
And so that's what I really love about it. It's like you need to be prepared, and just like in a game, you need to be prepared and ready to go. Mm-hmm. And as a goalie, it's like you have 5 seconds to showcase, if you're going to save that puck or if you're not going to. And so it's like very similar in that way. So I had a really good time last weekend with those 3 games. And I'm looking forward to tonight, obviously.
How do you prep for these games? Like with tonight, quick twitch, top of the head, don't have to look down. Like, what do you know as of now for tonight?
Exactly. I think that the way that I prep for like being a rinkside reporter is so much different than the way I would prep for color. Mm-hmm. It does help, obviously, that I played for the Gophers and it was so recent. So I feel like I have a lot of knowledge about Gopher history. So that's super fun to bring up, and even knowledge about my friends. I mean, I played with a lot of them, Abby Murphy included, and I feel like we never stopped talking about her on the broadcast, and rightfully so. But I normally prep for the other team a lot, and it's more so like doing your homework and studying for a test, and I'll write notes and do that stuff, but I can't
It'll never get in.
Exactly. I can't really look at them. It's like either you know it or you don't know it.
Yep.
Because you don't have time to, let me just fumble through my notes for 5 minutes and then I miss my chance.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, if I understand what you're saying, but I mean, if you're if you have a 48-second hit on Fox 9 Plus, well, the first 6 seconds maximum is going to be on camera, maybe 3 to 6. Well, memorize that part, then read off the notes.
Yeah, for the rinkside reporter, that's usually like I usually have a lot more leeway to read off something, or it depends on the hit if it's on camera or if it's off. But yeah, when you're doing color, it's a lot of like you don't really know when the moment's going to come. It's like you could have something on deck that you really want to say, but it might not make sense in that moment. Mm-hmm. So that kind of depends. But I love the fact that I've had such a great outlet and so many opportunities this season to get better. It's just like hockey, like we practice so much, and that's all I have really been hoping for this year was a lot of practice. And thankfully, I've had so many great people in my corner to do so.
Mm-hmm. Well, we wish you well, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Maybe next week for a Box in the Box. Not sure about the timing. And have a good time tonight with the Frosties team and the Buckeyes, and we'll see you soon, all right?
Amazing. Thank you, PA.
Amazing, she says. It's Olivia King with a Youth Hockey Hub, also an analyst and a rinkside analyst for college and or high school hockey events. And it's great having her in the Love Covenant. Back after that.
Never miss your chance to know what the latest sports news is in town. Chances to win tickets, knowing what's going on with all your favorite KFAN shows. Follow KFAN 1003 on all our social channels, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Do it now. Stay connected and follow the sports leader. That is KFAN. Speaking of the sports leader, you got 100.3 FM, The Fan. You're home for Vikings football and wild hockey and Gopher sports and the Howl, loving all of that. But we're your home for the high school hockey tournament in some ways as well. 96.7, The Plus. You have Zach Halverson on the call. Let's do a little live listening. Minnetonka and Gentry Academy at Grand Casino Arena.
I think that's Cash Hardy, the sophomore. Again, rebound goal. Popped out right in front to Cash Hardy, and he just found a corner as we looked for the replay. It was right in the slot, and he was fighting his way with the defenseman of Gentry the whole time. Puck jumps out at him.
Wow.
Goes topside blocker. Right place, right time, but they have noticed, Minnetonka being, that these pucks are not getting handled right away by Gentry, and they are waiting for these rebounds.
Just spun around, and puck just was right there, right place, right time, but keywords there, right place, and got to go to the net, got to be in front of the net, and that's goal number 17 now for Cash Hardy of the season.
It really seems like that has been Minnetonka's game plan coming in.
And you can hear all the action live via 96.7 The Plus. You hear it there, the goal from Cash Hardy, as we went through yesterday when I was filling in for PA. The game's going on live, so just so you know, maybe we'll do live listen-ins. If you're Jim in Moundsview or wherever you were, Jim, there may potentially be a spoiler. So I hate to break it to you. I know you want to tape it and watch it at home later in the day, but it's happening now. And on 96.7, our sister station, The Plus, you can listen and hear Zach Halverson on the call as Minnetonka has taken a 1-0 lead. That's the 1-8 matchup. You got Rosemount and Grand Rapids at 1:30. You got Moorhead. You got the Spuds in Lakeville South in the evening affair at 6 before 8:30. You have Edina and Andover. So we're going to be covering all of that for you here. Just as we've been covering Minnesota Vikings and really NFL free agency. I mean, we're on the eve of it in some respects, as the legal tampering period will kick off on Monday. Free agency / the league year opening in earnest on Wednesday. But we know how this works. By the time Wednesday hits, we're going to have a lot of information, and we're going to have a lot of names in front of us to feast on. And PA was running down earlier in the show that list, 100 free agents via ESPN, just upcoming free agents. You know what? List season, it's always in vogue. And ESPN, something for us to sink our teeth into with that. 100 free agents as it is. But a lot of those conversations, as we'll continue, not just today, but during the Friday feast, we kind of got to wait for the dominoes themselves to fall, and still just kind of chewing on whether, you're in cap hell at this particular moment. The Minnesota Vikings happen to be. So change is the name of the game. And we heard about Aaron Jones. You're going to save $7 million and change with Aaron Jones departing. Love him, love his leadership. That opens a spot there from the running back conversation. Javon Hargrave, you save $11 million moving on from him, and then this Jonathan Allen news popping yesterday. Add him to the list, as Kevin Seifert said. You save about 6.5 with that. That's a little more head scratching in terms of moves that I've seen and that I'm aware of thus far. But then that with the potential rumors of a trading Jonathan Grenard, those dominoes potentially falling next week, kind of then transition into, hey, Bradley Chubb's available. Hey, how about this? Ed Ingram. Did you see the work of Houston Texans guard Ed Ingram in 2025? Don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's going to be potentially available next week. But the dominoes having to fall from our favorite team, transitioning to this list of free agents that are looking to be available next week, all mixing into it for your favorite team. And frankly, that doesn't even include the quarterback quandary, the quarterback dilemma as it exists for the Purple right now, too. So
Eddie Ingram's on that ESPN list. I just can't find him.
He's number 56. Ooh. Yeah, he's number 56 right now. Why don't they bring back old Ed? We don't need Ed. You know why? We got Will Fries.
Got Donovan Jackson, too.
You know why? We got Donovan Jackson. Absolutely.
Did you mention what is taking place with the Bears?
I have not mentioned that. Somewhat breaking news. No, I was doing a little live listening with Minnetonka and Gentry, and then just kind of made the script flipping move to the NFL.
So, I want to say amazingly, but that's the wrong word. Strangely, that'd be the wrong word too, because I don't know anything about Drew Dahlman. But the Bears, their ballyhooed center, Drew Dahlman, retired 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Like at age 26 or 27. He just retired. So they got that with which to deal.
It's crazy news.
It's the NFC North. I mean, there are so many talkers in the NFC North, not only about the casting of the gaze with what's coming up for the Vikings and all of them, but a prized free agent hit by the Bears last year, Drew Dahlman, retires. And now, 15 minutes ago, Shefty tweeted, ESPN sources, the Chicago Bears are working to finalize a trade that would send wide receiver DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills. Compensation still is being discussed, and the trade cannot be processed until the new league year begins, which is next week. But both sides are pushing to make it happen.
Yeah.
So you when I said the Chicago Bears are working to finalize a trade that will send wide receiver DJ Moore to the Buffalo Bills, you laughed. You chuckled. And I know why you chuckled. Because the events up to free agency this year it's abnormal.
Yeah.
It's because it's like we learn while we're at the combine. I mean, I was in front of, I think his last name's Cunningham. I was in front between segments, or we're playing a taped interview, when the GMs were talking, and I caught the tail end of the GM saying that we are going to release Kirk Cousins first day of the league year. And there was a zillion people there on Podcast Row. So I'm like, I couldn't get close enough. I'm like, did I hear what I just heard? And Seifert was there too. He just heard it and said, wow, what do you think about that? And so you got that. You got Shefty tweeting, the Vikings are fielding calls for edge rusher Jonathan Grenard.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Trent McDuffie, corner for the Kansas City Chiefs, which was the centerpiece, and it ended up being a centerpiece in the Tyreek Hill deal, helped them win a Super Bowl, and I think play in 2. Well, he's going to get traded to the LA Rams. David Montgomery and like 18-ish touchdowns or whatever the last couple of years. He's going to the Houston Texans. So now you think of the division, and Drew Petzing, former wide receivers coach here, offensive coordinator with the Cardinals, basically rolls into the Motor City Davy and says to Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, the GM, I only need one, and it's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, we can trade him? Okay. So they're going to trade David Montgomery. That was a nice little 1-2 punch they had there.
Indeed.
And now this DJ Moore news. Okay, DJ messed up at the end of their final game with kind of a lackadaisical route on a ball that got picked. But nevertheless, DJ, second half of his career, DJ can ball.
I'm
a DJ Moore fan from afar, especially when they line him up in the backfield. That's tricky as bleep.
$20 million salary, though, for 680 receiving yards
right
in 2025.
And that's key, because first year with Ben, what happens? Roma Dunze jumps out of his skin. He's the most talented of all of them.
Yeah.
You've
Colston
heard
Loveland and some of those guys jumping up. Yeah.
Right. But see, I mean, it's for those who listen frequently, and Nordo's always here. You've heard me say this 8 million times, but nevertheless, it was new for the Chicago Bears, and it worked.
Yeah.
The 13 personnel, single back with 3 tight ends. And like even Courtney Cronin at the Combine, when we sat down with Courtney, who covers the Bears for ESPN, when I was talking about the 3 tight end bit, what Ben pulled out of it, she like smiled when I said Durham Smythe. Okay, Durham Smythe, nobody cares about Durham Smythe until you're in a playoff game and they're running a stretch play with Swift or some type of cutback requiring a wham block from a tight end, and there's Durham Smythe. That's all he does, and he does it very well. Then you got Cole Kmet. So I loved how they used their tight ends, but I also loved how they used their center. And he retired, and now DJ Moore is going to be on the move. Olamide Zaccheaus is also a free agent for them. But this right here is, all right, we might be bored with you, DJ. Didn't like that last route you ran. And the other guy, the one from Missouri, heading into his second year, well, he's going to cost a lot of money one day, and so is Rome. So we got to start saving our nickels and dimes, and I think Luther Burden had a little bit to do with this too.
No, I think that was the one name I was trying to find, but I couldn't grab it in my head. Luther Burden showed out a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, from a fine, and now
super
that
fast.
Drew Dahlman's gone, by the way. Yeah. Does that immediately put the Bears in a spot where they're looking at the Tyler Linderbaums of the world?
What's their cap situation?
They were under. I have no idea what it currently is. I thought they were like 3-4. They were under. I just remember all NFC North teams being under.
Yeah.
Not to the degree of the purple, of course. But,
maybe Ben Johnson is so diabolically good, he convinced Drew Dahlman to retire so he could go find Linderbaum from the Ravens. I mean, that would be as maniacal and diabolical as you possibly can imagine. Can I hear some Halvey, please?
Let me see. Well, let's see if, because I know the period's near the end here.
Academy, what would you change about that first period?
It's over. Who's leading?
It's Minnetonka up 1-0 on Gentry.
All right, we'll go Halvey. Where can people listen to that on
96.7 The Plus?
KFAN The Plus.
Absolutely.
Jalen Watson, cornerback, Kansas City Chiefs, 13 ESPN.com's free agency list, 27 into 2026. It's not a high-end playmaker, they write, but he has the length to challenge, impress, and the route awareness to. It's all boring. Jalen Watson, what do you think?
I don't know much about him. I know that they were pumped that they got him in the 7th round, got a ton of value. I'm shocked that the Chiefs aren't doing everything they can to re-sign him.
So that's not a desire, covet, or juice box?
It's not a desire, no.
Malik Willis.
No.
Devin Lloyd, linebacker, Jags.
Ooh, I gotta learn more about him. But in terms of what this team needs, he's an inside guy, I believe.
Yep.
Saw him make some plays. Defense for the Jags was game this year. 5
interceptions last year for Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, it feels like that's going to be spendy. At this stage, I say I do not desire.
17, Kyler Murray.
Well, I don't know how to desire.
You just had it's radio, so people can't see it, but I can. You just had a compensated anxiety attack when I brought up Kyler Murray.
Desire. Well, it's not that I covet Kyler Murray. Yeah. I covet the QB room being better.
If it's him, it's him.
And if it's him, it's him. Yes. If it's him, it's him.
Yep. What do they say?
I love Isaiah Likely, though.
Hold on. Murray, who played in only 5 games last season due to a foot injury, expected to be released by the Cards at the start of the league year. When healthy, Murray has the talent to produce in a system that maximizes his dual threat ability. Systems that maximize his dual threat ability.
Interesting.
And he should draw strong interest as a free agent. In 7 seasons with Arizona, he threw for 121 touchdowns, ran for 3,193 yards.
You know, I'm curious. Do you look at Kyler as a runner? I look at him as being mobile as he buys himself time back there. But if you remember earlier in his season, I don't have it up. He had a couple years there, his first couple, where it was like he had 16 rushing touchdowns or some big number, right?
Yep.
I don't see him as that. Like, I mean, when I think dual threat ability,
he's a scrambler.
He's a scrambler.
Yes.
He's not a runner, at least not runner first.
But to be a scrambler, is that a good thing? Because if you're scrambling, one of 2 things is happening. Either the protection in front of you broke down, you picked up on it, now you got to run around, or you're a 1/2 read quarterback.
Yeah.
And if your first 2 reads are covered, then you start running willy-nilly, pointing down the field to 18, saying, just run, I'm going to throw it.
Yeah, and it almost seems instinctual.
Yeah.
Where when it's not there, he's going.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's him, it's him.
To him, it's him.
How do you change that instinct, or do you become okay with it because of the athleticism?
Isaiah Likely, is that a desire for you?
I would love Isaiah Likely on this team.
Why?
Well, I mean, especially, I don't know what the future holds for T.J. Hawkinson.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he is an absolute stone cold red zone stud.
Yep. Might be sitting on some big stuff.
Beefing up tight ends, as we talked about. We got Josh Oliver from the Ravens a few years ago. I think overall I've liked Josh Oliver. Let's go after Isaiah Likely too.
All right. So signing Isaiah Likely means you have no Hawkinson.
That's possibly that would probably be it, right?
19 Romeo Doubs, 26 into next season.
Yeah, he's probably going to be too expensive.
Really?
Do you think? I mean, I mean, if you can't afford Jalen Naylor at this spot, if you're thinking about moving on from him, I don't think you can get Dobbs.
Naylor's faster than Dobbs. Dobbs has more experience. His route running is good, but so is Jalen's. Yeah, that's a great point about. And I mean, if Alec Pierce is going to get what Alec Pierce supposedly is going to get,
yeah,
that's the greatest year in the world for Romeo Doubs to become a free agent.
Not bad. Perfect timing for Mr. Dobbs.
Khalil Mack, 35 into the 26.
Yeah, we need to get younger.
Same. Travis Etienne Jr., running back Jags, 27 into the 26.
There might be a little bit of a desire there. I wonder what we're going to do at running back, PA. And Etienne's impressive. He had some health issues earlier in his career, maybe?
Yeah, he had 26 runs last year of 10 or more yards, which was tied for the 12th most in the NFL. He's more than capable as a receiver out of the backfield, 36 catches last year. He had 116 total yards and a touchdown in Jacksonville's wild card loss to Buffalo. Travis Etienne Jr., desire, covet, juice box, con, or no?
At this stage, I would say no. I'm intrigued, but I can't say that I desire.
Brian Cook, safety Chiefs, 27 into the 26.
I don't know much about him. I do desire a safety, but I can't say that it's Mr. Cook.
Hey, I think you or we like this guy at LSU into the draft, Caleb on Chason.
Yes.
Now with the Patriots, he'll be age 27. He's ESPN.com's 24th ranked free agent, former first rounder. Career best 7.5 sacks and 32 pressures in 2025. Plus, he added 3 more sacks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Caleb on Chason's a smart man.
I would desire
have a middling career for the first X amount of years of your career. Become a free agent and blow up in the playoffs. It's Who knew?
Yeah, and then make a ton of cash from a new team. Maybe it'll be the purple. I like KFAN Chason and getting the chance. I mean, given that they went to the Super Bowl, watching a hell of a lot more Patriots than I had the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Jason's kind of a badass. I
fast.
like him as a player. And, well, what does the future hold at that pass rushing spot for the
I'm
Minnesota
not
Vikings?
in on the Grenard trade bit.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying I'm saying
completely out on
anybody's lying. I mean, I mean, I can't see it happening.
We're gonna find
one of my
money to
favorite
keep him.
players.
I love him. We're gonna keep him, I think.
Back after this.
I can't wait until tomorrow. 'Cause tomorrow might very well be too late.
Jawan Jennings.
I can't wait.
At 6'3", 213, Jennings is a consistent route runner.
Ooh.
Who plays through contact, makes himself a vet. I don't need to read any of this. Jawan Jennings is one of 4 and we haven't mentioned the other 3, at least as my taste goes. But this is somebody that I started talking about, I'd say about a month ago. I'm a Jawan Jennings fan. Always have been. I've learned a lot about him from their Vox, Greg Papa, and some other people who know him. And I think Jawan Jennings is the type of potentially cost-effective player who could help the Minnesota Vikings as a third wide receiver, as a galvanizing locker room figure. Not that they need that, but that's who he is. And you're not going to find many tougher in the National Football League than ESPN's 25th overall unrestricted free agent coming up, Jawan Jennings. Damn, man, they got him all the way up at 25?
25,
See,
man.
I thought Jawan, when I started talking about this a month ago, I thought Jawan would be a little more sneaky than top 25. But then, like, for those who say this ain't a great free agency year, I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah, no, whether it's him, I mean, I'm looking more like this Connor. I want to learn more about Connor McGovern.
That's
who's going
number
to
2
be,
for me.
I didn't mean to be.
No, it's good. I don't need
spoiler.
I don't need to surprise you. I'm for what it's worth, Jawan Jennings,
Yeah.
Connor McGovern,
Yep.
Debo Samuel, and Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, I like that.
Those 4 right there, and they're cost effective, and I just like their games.
Well, the Gainwell bit with this team, with this rushing attack, with what they need, Gainwell makes the most sense, maybe financially, but also functionally, given how they use the running backs here.
Desire?
I'm in. I desire.
Covet?
I covet me some Kenneth Gainwell.
Juice
Why
box?
not? Stank?
Hey, thanks for listening today. God bless you and your families. Friday football feast tomorrow. Can't wait. For Nordo, I'm Paul Allen. Later.
If it's good news or money, leave a message.
Podcast today's Paul Allen Show, or listen back to previous show and interviews by going to the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.